Ever wondered who holds the world's oldest continuous hereditary monarchy? The answer lies in Japan, with the chrysanthemum throne, an imperial line stretching back over 1,500 years. But what does it truly mean to be the Emperor of Japan? Let's journey through time to uncover the shifting roles and realities of this ancient institution. Our story begins in the mists of legend. According to ancient texts like the Kojiki, the first emperor, Jimmu, was a direct descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu. This divine origin story was crucial. It established the emperor not just as a ruler, but as the chief priest of the native Shinto religion, a living god on earth. In these early days, around the 4th to 6th centuries, the emperors, or Yamato kings, held significant political and religious power. They were the ultimate authority, performing sacred rituals to ensure good harvests and the well-being of the nation. Their word was law, and their divinity was unquestioned. But as we enter the Nara and Heian periods, starting in the 8th century, things begin to change. Powerful aristocratic clans, most notably the Fujiwara clan, started to gain influence at court. How did they do it? Through a clever strategy of political marriage, they would marry their daughters to the emperors, and then install their young grandsons on the throne. As regents for these child emperors, the Fujiwara clan effectively controlled the government. The emperor, while still revered as a divine figure, started to become more of a symbol. His days were filled with elaborate ceremonies, poetry contests, and aesthetic pursuits within the gilded cage of the imperial palace in Kyoto. Real political power was slipping from his grasp. Then came the age of the samurai. By the late 12th century, Japan was dominated by military warlords. The first shogun, Minamoto no Yoritomo, established a new form of government called the shogunate. For the next 700 years, Japan would be ruled by these military leaders. The emperor's political power became virtually non-existent. He remained in Kyoto, a figure of immense cultural and religious importance, but a political puppet. His main role was to provide legitimacy. A shogun needed the emperor's official appointment to be recognized as the true ruler of Japan. So while the shoguns held the swords and the land, the emperor held the divine mandate. His daily life was one of ritual and tradition, completely detached from the running of the country. This long period of symbolic rule came to a dramatic end in the mid-19th century. Western powers were knocking on Japan's door, forcing the country to open up after centuries of isolation. This crisis created a huge backlash against the shogun's government, which was seen as weak. A movement arose to revere the emperor and expel the barbarians. In 1868, a group of ambitious samurai overthrew the shogun and restored direct imperial rule in what is known as the Meiji Restoration. The young Emperor Meiji was moved from Kyoto to the new capital, Tokyo, and became the powerful, modernizing leader of a new Japan. He was no longer just a high priest. He was the commander-in-chief of the army and navy, and the head of a rapidly industrializing nation. The new Meiji Constitution declared him sacred and inviolable, the absolute sovereign of the Japanese Empire. The emperor was back at the center of political power, a symbol of national unity and ambition on the world stage. This era of the powerful, divine emperor reached its peak in the early 20th century, leading up to World War II. The emperor was the focal point of an intense nationalistic ideology. School children were taught to worship him, and soldiers went into battle shouting his name. But the devastation of the war brought about another profound transformation. Following Japan's surrender in 1945, under the new post-war constitution drafted by the Allied occupation, the emperor's role was completely redefined. Emperor Hirohito, in a landmark radio address, publicly renounced his divinity. He was no longer a living god. The constitution stripped him of all political power and defined him as the symbol of the state and of the unity of the people. So what does the emperor do today? The modern emperor's life is one of public service and symbolic duty. He performs ceremonies at the palace, meets with foreign dignitaries, travels across Japan to connect with the people, and offers comfort during times of natural disaster. He is a constitutional monarch, much like the British king or queen, with no say in government policy. His power is purely ceremonial and symbolic. From a divine ruler to a political puppet, a modernizing autocrat, and now a symbol of the nation, the role of the Japanese emperor has been in constant flux. It's a fascinating story that reflects the dramatic twists and turns of Japan's own history. Thanks for watching our deep dive into the history of the Japanese emperor. If you found this journey through time interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into history and culture. Let us know in the comments what historical topic you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.